Hello, I'm going to show you how to add new lessons and new lesson content to your Populi page under the update. So I am on my Lessons tab on my course, and I have made a blank lesson, a new lesson, and I've done that by clicking the Add a Lesson button. So my test page, so my test lesson, is blank, completely brand new and from scratch. So the first thing that I want to do is go into the Design tab. And from here, I have several options. The first thing that I'm going to do is start by adding a header. And it will be the intro section of this particular page. So that header will be pretty simple. At this point, I can then go through and add content, an assignment, a discussion, a file, or a link. So here, when you click content, it's the old content boxes that we had prior to the update. And so here you can type anything and provide that information to your students. And this can include pictures, links, content. They have a couple of different basic editing options, and this is where you can provide some of your basic course content to your students. So saving, which is the number one thing that you can do. Now I'm going to show you how to create a second page on your lesson page, and this is brand new, and it actually increases our flexibility quite a bit. So over here you can see that you have pages now, and page 1 is what we just did. So I only have an intro module and a content module, but now I'm going to add a second page where I can put some of my other content. Now you can title this anything. They default to numerical numbers, so I'm just going to stick with that for the moment. So I'm going to add a second page and save it, and it automatically brings you to that second page. So for this particular page, I'm going to provide a copy of one of my Prezis that I've downloaded into PDF format. And I'm making a header, and then I'm going to add this particular file. And it allows you to drag and drop right into the module, which is nice. And I want to quickly look at my options here. So do I want to hide this file from the students? No, not right now. Show the embedded preview or media player if applicable. This is a file that I want the students to be able to see, so yes, because it embeds right in our page. And then the last option is, should we require students to view or download this file? And yes, I want this to be a required section on my page. So I'm going to save it. And then we're going to go look to see how the students will view this page. So clicking over to this View tab right here, we can see that here's my header, and then here's the actual content itself. So it's embedded right in so the students can scroll through and view the presentation. Now, switching back over into design, I'm then going to look down here at my other options to see what else I want to do. So I can still go through and do an assignment, a discussion, a file. We've already covered files, but for discussions and assignments. So for an assignment, let's say I wanted them to view this content and then take a little test. So you have a drop down, and the assignments, which you can build under your assignments page, will be able to just embed right in this lesson. So I want to require students to complete this assignment, so I'm going to toggle to yes, and I'm going to click save. And what this does is it embeds right here. And if you step back a moment just to think about this, what this means is that you can cover a basic content on page 1, require them to do some reading, switch over to page 2 where they have to view additional content or any other task that you'd like to set, and then you can have them complete a quiz or a test or write an essay or respond to any other questions that you may have. And that allows you to go through and see how your students are performing. And that really allows you to do one of those circles of learning. So if after this point you wanted to have the students discuss what you covered, you can then add a discussion module. And this is just like the discussions that we had prior to the update. The only difference is that it's going to appear differently on your lesson page. So what you would do is create the lesson, create the discussion like you used to. You make a discussion title, then you add the discussion topic here in this box, and this is when you set your different requirements and options. So what is the date and time that it would be available, whether the students can comment on one another as comments, where they can go through and either have a max number of comments or replies, and whether, again, at the bottom, you're going to require the students to participate in this discussion before they move on. And as always, remember you have to publish it before it goes live. So these are some of the basics of creating a lesson page under the update. And the only thing that I will remind you of is that this is all one lesson page. Even though we have 2 lesson pages on this lesson, what I would encourage you to think of now is, prior to the update, we used to call each individual lesson a lesson page. Now, really using just the terminology of lesson will probably make this easier to understand. So a lesson can have multiple pages, and each lesson that you post is an individual entity. So if you have any questions, because I know this is different than what we've been doing, please just let me know and I'm happy to walk you through it. Thanks a lot and have a good day.